friends, this is Miss Stout here and welcoming you to Arting with Miss Stout again this week. This is our third assignment for quarter one and I'm super excited about getting started. We're going to be starting with our basic technique that we use in art, which are lines. Lines are used in every single piece of artwork that you will make and that any artist will make. There's always some sort of line going on in an artwork. If you look at the Vincent van Gogh Starry Night behind me, you can see many lines. He was known for the lines and the dashes that he made in his artwork. You can see these are creating movement, and so are these. They're creating texture. And I'm going to talk about a few of those things here today with vocabulary, art vocabulary. This is expressive lines. Expressive lines means to use heavy or light lines to indicate a stronger or lighter meaning. In the lines, as you can see, there's the definition, and here you go, you can see some of the really cool artwork that you can notice, some of these lines and dashes and different indicating different meanings, and they're using lines here to add light in your picture, so you can see that's really interesting. Okay, and our biggest thing that we're going to be using in this project is implied lines. Okay, if you notice on here, you can see all the dashed lines, the wavy lines, the dotted lines, and then dots just for a line. These are really important in art, and the definition says implied lines are dots, small dashes, or any interrupted line. So basically, it's a line that's not straight, okay? It's not a straight across solid line. It's got little dashes or little breakups in that line. We are going to also be using vocabulary word patterns. So patterns are a way to decorate surfaces, it says, but I also use patterns in art as kind of like in math, you know, when you were a kid in elementary school and you learn patterns and it's like a repeated pattern. So if you had like a square and then a triangle and then a square and then a triangle, like a 1-1 pattern, you can remember all of that. We use that in art too. So this is creating texture for decoratory meaning in like construction, and also you can see right here for patterns, they used it on materials. This is material like cloth, okay? So that's one definition of that pattern. The pattern that we're gonna be using is Zantangles. And Zantangles are basically line patterns over and over repeating. And it's really fun. And Zantangles are used a lot of times in art therapy. People do Zantangling to kind of give themselves a brain break, if you say. So it really helps, and it kind of just helps you to just relax, and you just go with the flow. So I'm really excited about this project. I hope that you guys like it too. I'm going to be doing a tutorial right after this, and you're going to learn a lot about Zantangles. Right. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some of the examples that we're going to be using for this Zantangling project. Here are some examples of how to draw some of the Zantangles. So you can see a lot of the lines, the patterns on here. These are going to be in PDF file on your canvas, so you can print them out or you can look at them on your iPad as a reference. But these are some more Zantangle patterns. And you can tell that there are lots of shapes and lines and different really cool repeating patterns going on the Zantangles. One of my most favorite things to do is Zantangles. I really love them, and they're really fun to doodle and to just create with them. The projects that I'm gonna show you 3 different ways to create your Zantangling project. So one of which is going to be the circles, where you just trace circles and then you put the Zantangles inside the sections. Another one is making and drawing lines, wavy, straight lines, and then in the sections you're going to Zantangle in those, okay? And then the last one is making like a spiral. So the spiral is really cool too, and I will teach you how to do that, and then you Zantangle in each section of the spiral. Now, if you want to go off the beaten path and you want to do something really, really different and unique, you are totally welcome to do this. You could draw some animals and then Zantangle inside of them. These are other ideas. Now, these are not the ones that I'm going to give you instructions for. Okay, these are like on your own if you wanted to be creative and do that project instead of my direction. So if you don't want to do the spiral or the crisscross or the circle ones, you can find an animal or something like that, and you draw the outline of it, and then you Zantangle on the inside in different spots. So I'm going to show you another one. This one's super cool. It's an eye, and they Zantangled around it. These also will be on canvas. Here's a fish, super creative too. You can turn it this way, whichever way you want. You can see all the little, they divided the whatever animal or whatever object that they drew, they divided it into sections, and then they Zantangled in those sections. This is a panther. It's pretty cool. He's so cute, a little chameleon. You can even use magazine pieces. Cut out a magazine. It doesn't have to be a face. It could be something else. And then you add the Zantangles to it, adding hair or adding other parts of whatever you chose. If you chose some kind of flower or boat, if you had a boat, you could make the waves as Zantangles. It's literally use your imagination and get creative. So if you would like to do those are some options, okay? And you can be creative and do your own. I don't want you to be stuck in just what I'm instructing you to do, okay? Because if you have a super creative mind and you want to think outside the box, I'm totally welcoming that. So if you would like to make something other than what I'm going to be instructing you to do, the step-by-step, I am totally okay with that. Just make sure you take your time, you do your best, and I will love to see whatever you create. And hoping you have some fun with this project. I'm gonna switch over to doing the instructional part and teach you how to do the circles and the spiral and also the intersecting line one, okay? Okay guys, so let's get Zantangling. What you're gonna need is a pencil right now. You will eventually need a Sharpie, black Sharpie. And we can start by making a wavy line from one corner and another wavy line from the other corner, intersecting. Now, if I go too fast, just remember you can always pause the video, and then when you're ready, get back to starting. Now, pay attention to where you intersect here. You don't want to intersect way over here. You want it to cross over in the center, okay? So and then I'm going to come over here on this side, so I start in the middle of the paper on this side. And then I'm going to start one line over here in the middle, intersecting, so I'm going to slow down and make sure it's intersected. Okay, so this is the basic pattern for this Zantangle. Let me show you. It jumped away from me. Okay, so this is one of the Zantangles that we're going to be creating. But the Zantangle that I wanted to show you was the spiral one. Okay, so this is the one that we're kind of creating today. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how to do the circle one. So here I've already started. You take the tape or any kind of circle, it doesn't have to be tape, and you're just going to literally just trace wherever you want to trace. Make sure they're overlapping because you need those sections for your Zantangles, okay? And then once you like your pattern that you have of circles, then you're going to start Zantangling in these sections. And then that one actually looks something like this one finished, okay? And you wouldn't have to Zantangle every single section, but it looks really cool when you do. So see how they're Zantangling each section a little bit different. Okay, then the last one I'm going to show you is the crisscross one. Looks something like this. I'm going to show you how to make that one. The crisscross one, basically, you're just crisscrossing your lines. Okay, so you get your paper, you get your pencil, and you just start taking your lines and making some lines in different sections. It doesn't matter where you want to put them. Now, I do have to say, you might not want to make a total, like tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of lines. You want to try to keep it more simplified and make some lines so that you have bigger sections, okay? I don't know, maybe one more right over here, a little curved one, okay? Until you're happy with it. Once you're happy with it, then you can start Zantangling. And remember, this one looks like this. I have all these as PDFs on Canvas, so if you want to check them out and go back and look at them, you can. Okay, I'm going to use this one today to give you some ideas and some ways to actually create your Zantangles. All right, I'm going to do this bubble one. See that bubble one right there? I'm going to do that one. Okay, that one is pretty simple. You're just making some circles all over your paper in that section that you want to put these bubbles in. You can make different sizes. I know theirs are kind of generally the same size, but it's okay if you want to make them different. It's hard to make the same exact size over and over and over again. So I like to change it up and kind of give it different sizes. Okay? Once you get that done, then you're going to put this little C in there. This kind of gives it like that shiny bubble effect. Just a little C going in there. And then your background is going to be shaded black. Okay? See? All right, I'm going to do this crisscross one. I'm going to do it right over here in this section. Going to cross right in here. I love this one. It makes me feel like it's like shoelaces overlapping each other. Or rope. Okay, you can make different sizes. The important part is making sure they line up, okay? And that sometimes can be tricky. So here, this is what you do. You stop. Here's my line. Stop. Now I'm gonna follow that line invisibly until I get to the other side of my line. Whoa! That scared me. Well, that is my cleanup alarm, guys. You can go ahead and start cleaning up. Just kidding. Now you're going to add another line right in here. Okay? And then do it on this side. Follow up. Stop. Follow up. Now you got a perfect little section of all these crisscross lines. They look really cool, okay? They're gonna look cooler when you get done with it. So what you would do is you would Sharpie them, okay? And once you're done with your Sharpie, you're actually gonna add a little bit of the pencil back in. This looks better with a thinner Sharpie, I think. I have a thick one right now. Okay, and then you actually add a little bit of your pencil in here to add a little bit of shading. So I'm gonna add, and the shading goes not on, see how this one's on top? It looks like it's on top, above. So basically like this line is like this, like the pencil is to my hand, okay? So, and I'm gonna pretend my light source is coming from top, above it. So then my shadow would kind of virtually be right here a little bit, and then I'm gonna smudge it a little bit. And then this gives this effect, so cool, that it looks like this line is really on top of it, okay? And it starts giving it more dimension, and I just love that. It's really fun. Okay, so over here, I'm gonna do a line. I'm gonna actually Sharpie this out right here so we can define these lines a little bit better. Because technically what I would want you to do is I would want you to Sharpie afterwards, but I want you to see the finished thing, the finished product, okay? So I'm gonna actually do the line one of my other favorites. So I make lines going this direction, turn my paper, and make lines going in that direction. Turn my paper again, make lines going in this direction. Basically, you just keep making lines in different directions. You can even make lines like this and shorter, and then make some lines like this. Make sure they're touching. Kind of failed on that part right there. And then I'm going to do another set of lines right here going in that direction. And then maybe some more intersecting right here, kind of, not really intersecting, I guess, but like going in a different direction right there. Left a little square right in here so I can color that in if you want to. Okay, so this one's a fun one because you're just literally just making lines, guys. Okay, and they don't have to be straight. They don't have to be perfect. They just have to be going in different directions to give it this really cool pattern and effect. Okay? I've got another one that I was going to show you. It's the circle stripe one. I'm going to do it over here in this section. It's a little smaller. So I'm going to make some circles, okay? 1, 2, and maybe 3, maybe another one right over here, half one. Now I'm going to make some stripes. So you start with circles, and then you start making some stripes over your circles. Seems pretty simple, right? Not too bad, not too bad. And then I'm going to take my circle, in this top section, I'm going to shade it in, or I would color it in with a Sharpie, okay? I'm going to color that section in. Now, wherever you have the circle colored in, you do not color in the stripe. Does that make sense? Okay, so here's your circle. I'm not going to color that stripe in. This is white, so I'm going to color in this section. It's like opposites, okay? Like that. Now I'm going to leave this one white because that one is white. So then this color is going to be dark. White. Dark. White for the circle. Then dark for the stripe. It's kind of like in every other, like a 1-1 pattern in essence. Kind of. Okay? Now I want this section to be dark, that section to be white, and then this section of this circle to be dark. Okay? And then this section up here would be dark. And that's kind of interesting looking. And that's this one. So it kind of probably benefits if you have a little bigger section. Now this one is one of my other favorites. It's super easy. It's really fun. I call it scales. So I'm going to do the scales right in here. So I'm going to start with a rainbow. Do another rainbow. Now, if you wanted to do what I'm doing right now and start with a Sharpie, you can. However, just remember, Sharpies don't erase. So if you make a mistake, it's a permanent one. Unlike Christ, when we make mistakes, I make mistakes all the time. He can forgive us, which erases our mistakes. And we can learn from our mistakes too. Okay, so basically I'm doing this. I'm making my rainbows. I didn't really get to talk about it because I was kind of... Okay, so see where there's like these little sections right here where it goes in? It goes in like this, okay? You don't want to start your lines there. You want to start your line at the middle of the rainbow, okay? The middle of the rainbow. You just keep starting at the middle of the rainbow. Here's the middle, go up and over. Here's the middle. Well, I want to start where this one ended up. Go up and over. Go up and over. Middle to middle. Okay, and then you just make another line right underneath it, giving it that really cool, scaly kind of look. And you would complete that all the way through. Here's another line one. You make 3 lines. Make 3 lines. Literally 3 lines, guys, going the opposite direction. 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines. Okay, couldn't make the 3rd line there. Just 2 more. Okay? But make sure they're going the opposite direction, so including the bottom. I got 3 there. I want to go sideways for those. Upright for those. Sideways for these. Upright for those. Sideways. And you just keep going all the way through, okay? This is a really cool one. I like this one a lot. It kind of goes triangular. Okay, we're going to try that one. So what you do is you start here in the corner, and let me see. I'm going to use my pencil just in case. I'm going to go like this. Okay? So do that. Then I'm going to start over here. I'm going to go like this. And go a little further. And then I'm going to come down over here. I feel like I did that one wrong. Sorry. That's not correct. I just did it a second ago. Let me see. Let me see. Where did he go? Where did my little guy go? It's almost time for me to go. I don't know what to do with it. Okay, well this is it. It's called the paradox. Okay, and do you see how the lines come up? That's what you want to do. And this is like a perfect, well, it kind of shows us. So you do your line right here, right here, right here, right there, and then you make straight lines. So I'm going to take this corner. This one's a little bit different than that one because that one's got like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. So this one's a little bit different. So I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to go like this. I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to meet up in the center like this. I'm not going to meet up with them yet. And then I'm going to take this corner and meet up like that. So they're kind of overlapping like this. Okay, so line over, and then line down. Okay? And then you start taking lines going this way. Kind of with the curvature of the center here. Kind of bring it in. And it looks even cooler if you do like smaller, thin, skinny lines going on here. So I'm going to take my line and go up like this. I'm going to turn my paper. I turn my paper all the time. Okay, I'll do it again. See, even our teachers make mistakes when I did that. That's why it's good to have a pencil and eraser. So if you make a mistake, you can fix it. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. I don't care who you are. You make mistakes in life. Whether it be drawing, whether it be life. Everybody makes mistakes. Okay? You gotta own it, learn from it, move forward, ask for forgiveness. Okay. So there you go. So there's like this really cool, it's called a paradox. I love it. I think it's cool looking. So you can do that one. And again, guys, all of these examples I have them. I will be sending them to you through Canvas so you can take a look at them and learn how to do them. I'm also going to leave some links to how to watch some other tutorials of people doing the same kind of Zantangling, and it will help you. All right, well, I hope you guys have fun. I hope you had fun watching this lesson, and we'll see you next time.